Hi everyone, and there's no need for your finger to point. There's like we got it. Hi everyone, and welcome to the B Show. I am your host Deborah Voltaire Calange, and we are live on the B Show. First of all, let's just give a moment for my makeup um, crew and my hair crew, and by crew I mean myself. God damn! I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling my. Oh, okay. Guess the fan was making noise. Anywho, welcome to the B Show. Today is the best day. It's Thursday. It's a Friday Eve, and we are here to discuss all things that matter to me, B. Today we're gonna have a kind of a jam-packed show, and I'm trying something new out. If you may know who I am, you know that I was very, very privileged in a way to get this show with the help of my husband and his teammates and everyone else who watches his show. So I'm very thankful for that. However, it's called the Sports Hitch List, right? Don't kill me. And I love sports as much as a man loves going to the grocery stores for his wife. Put that analogy together. So I figured I really love talking to people. I really love finding out things about people, the more interview, more like personalized talks. So I was talking to my second guest for today. A light bulb went in my head, and I was like, I want to try something new, and it mostly won't be like it'll be sports, but more of like entwining what I like to do. So I can't wait to, tell you guys and show you guys what that's going to be about. But first, we're going to start with the beautiful Stephanie Harari, and she's going to tell us briefly about this amazing brunch that she has started. And we love our Black-owned businesses. We love everyone who's trying to do it for themselves. Sisters are doing it. Spice Girls. That, and I would love to have her here so you guys can hear about it and get the vibes that I get from watching her Instagram, What About Your Friends brunch. And if I could teleport myself, like the way Urkel used to do when Laura needed him, or Stefan, that's what I would do. So we're going to have her on the show. And then, it's mental health awareness. So we're going to talk with my good friend Falco, who many of you may know as Brandon, and he has his own show as well. And it's going to be fun today. It's going to be very different, but most of all, tomorrow's Friday, so who the F cares, right? So let's have Stephanie Harari come. Literally, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering her last name, but to me, when I say it like that, it sounds like wealth. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like, so we're gonna have her, then we're gonna have Brandon, and playoffs are this week. I'm fully aware. So it's time for everyone who, in the beginning of the shows, we started talking about the playoffs. It's time to put your money where your mouth is. All right, so let's get my girl Steph in here. She's a member of the First Wives Clubs. So I want everyone to give her a round of applause. Amit. Enter the chat. Hello. Welcome. Didn't I tell you? Smell like money. Only rich people wear their jackets like that.
Well, we both on a little black, Deb.
I see the lip. Okay. I see you.
What's going on, baby?
Nothing. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's beautiful in Vegas, but it's windy. It is
really
so windy.
It's very nice out here in New York. Thank goodness.
Oh,
it's very good weather. If you move back, you would know. I'm just saying.
Nah, you know what? I'm okay on the West Coast. Yeah, I'm okay this side.
Okay. I tried to the whole Salon family. That's I tried, guys. But for all those who may not know who you are, please give them a quick shout out and let them know that who you are, what you're about. Not only are you a beautiful Black woman, let us know.
Thank you so much. First of all, Deb, thank you so much for having me today. My name is Stephanie Harari, guys. I'm originally from New York. I'll always rep New York and the Knicks. I'm sorry?
Stop. We don't represent the Knicks.
Oh, yes, we do. Okay. And you live in New York, Deb, stop.
I'm from Miami, okay? Miami Heat.
Okay. Stop, Deb. Come on now. Shout out to the New York Knicks. And now I live in Nevada now for the past 8 years with my amazing husband. And we just started this speakeasy brunch called What About Your Friends Brunch? And that's why I'm here today to speak about it.
Yes, speak about it. So when did you start with this idea? Like I know you, and I always say biatches love brunch, right? That's like when you're born, you come out the womb, it's like, oh, I love brunch. Like that's automatic, right? So during COVID, unfortunately, that was taken away. Like I tell Carl all the time, like the first moment they say like day parties are back, I'm in there. Or even just like that intimate boom, your friends drinking, parlaying, listening to music and the good vibe. So what made you decide like, I want to create this?
So during COVID, like I was away from friends. We haven't seen each other. Everyone was quarantined. And so a friend of mine hit me up and she was like, I really miss you and stuff like that. I really want us to get together. And I was like, you know what, let's do a brunch and stuff like that. And it'll just be like a few of us, and we'll have good food and of course bottomless mimosas and like just good vibes, you know?
Yeah.
And you know how when you go to brunch, like someone will order this and another person will order that. Will be like, oh, I want to try that. I want to try any
Yeah.
kind of. And so with what about your friends brunch? I wanted all your favorite dishes in like all together, in courses.
Yeah. And sometimes they give you a little bit. And sometimes
Correct.
like I need more. You're still hungry for more.
Correct. And it's not like, oh, okay, you'll just get like one kind of meal and oh, that person got something else and you guys could
Yeah.
kind of nibble. Everyone gets the same four courses. And so let's rewind though, right? Let's talk about what about your friend's brunch?
Yeah.
So what about your friend's brunch is a speakeasy of brunches.
Love
Location is private. None of the guests know where they're headed until the day of their brunch. They get a personal private chef for a 4-course meal. They get live music for 3 hours. They get a personalized "What about your friend's brunch" invitation that is sent out to their guests. So whoever contacted me and whoever wants to be part of What About Your Friends Brunch, they all get like handwritten invitations by a calligrapher.
Beautiful.
Bottomless mimosas. Did I mention bottomless mimosas?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And then then you get a goodie bag. So in your goodie bag, you get a personalized candle. And from Easton's Essentials, it's another Black-owned candle company out in New York, and a small bottle of champagne.
Nice.
Yes.
So the name of your brunch is What About Your Friends? And when I hear that, all I think of is TLC. Is that kind of what gave you that like title, like that tongue in cheek, or you were just like, like what about your friends, hanging out and chilling with your friends?
So a little bit of both. A little bit of both. So when I first was planning it, I was like, oh, maybe it should be like those TLC silk, the silk pajamas, like that. And then I was thinking, no, you know what? We do need a day where you come together with friends, not surrounded by a whole bunch of other different strangers,
Yeah,
and
close
like
friends.
Just your close friends, your close loved ones, and just being in that moment and taking it all in. So I was like, what about your friends? So it's a little bit of, an ode to TLC and a little bit of like, let's regroup, let's reconnect, and let's eat and drink.
And you said that it was a speakeasy. I love a speakeasy.
Listen,
I feel like it's glam, like you're in a pour in. At the same time, it's like you're doing something illegal, but you're not.
Correct.
Right? And it's like a thrill of like anticipating where you're gonna go.
Correct.
And how's it gonna look, and how, because usually you don't even know.
You don't know a thing. So you'll get like a text message like, hey, this is where you meet up. And some speakeasies are phenomenal, out of this world. Sometimes it's like, what is this? Library? Like, what is this? Laundromat? What is this? And so what I love about What About Your Friends Brunch is like, you don't know anything. You tell me like, hey, you know what? Like some of the questions I ask, like what's your favorite color? Like when you go out to like to drink, like what is your cocktail that you usually order?
Black and pink, gin and tonic, and
your favorite colors and stuff like that. And so I kind of work with it. And so so when you tell me all this information, I kind of work. I have my mind thinking and stuff like that. Yeah. And so that's why there's so much like a wow factor when they enter, because they have no idea. I don't give them
right.
Yeah. I don't give them like a little sneak peek, like, okay, guys, it'll be like this. This is what you can expect, or this is what it'll look like. You have no idea.
But if they follow you, they could kind of get a vibe of other things that you've
done. Correct. If you follow me, What About Your Friends Brunch on IG, you could kind of see like, oh, I see. Like, oh, I kind of see what the vibe is.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like having a mimosa, cocktail in hand, and listening to like live music. There's nothing like it.
Feels rich.
Oh my gosh.
Lord. Feels like you made it, right? With $1 and a dream.
Hello.
You talked about like, people tell you this and they tell you that and you make it all come together. And I know
Right.
when we talked, you said like, I'm not an event planner, but something has to come like for you to coordinate all these things.
Correct. I
Yeah.
don't know. I love hosting.
Yeah.
How it stemmed from. I love hosting. I love when.
And I also feel like that runs in your family, like watching your cousins and
Right.
when you had like your bridal shower, like you love things to like a theme, a meaning,
Right.
something
Yeah.
personalized.
I love hosting and I like when people feel loved and welcome. I think that's one trait about me. I like when I meet people there, sometimes
You
people
do.
say, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like,
You're
I,
like, hi, honey, and they're like, okay,
uh,
girl.
and I like people, I want people to feel loved and welcome and like comfortable, and some people, if you're a little shy, I like to break that a little bit. And so if you have to love hosting, and I love hosting, and give me a bottomless mimosa any day, hello. So it's just like putting everything that I love together all in one. And it's just like, oh, and when you get to speak to the client and they're like, well, this is the type of music I like. Like I like some R&B and I like some this and I like that. So it's like the juices just start, flowing. And then I'm just like, okay, we could do this, we could do that. I don't tell them that, right? Because they don't know what they're expecting. But it's something where I'm like, I'm writing it down on my notes, like, okay, this is what I want. And it's like, wow.
So I know you said, you try to please everyone and give them what they ask for. So when they come, they get the wow factor. But how hard was your very first one? And what have you learned from your first one to where you are now?
I've been having some really, really good clients, but I'm not going to lie. The first one, I would say the second one then, it was an all guys brunch. And I was nervous because I was like, okay, they're coming all the way from New York. I don't know what they're going to think, if they're going to say it's, oh, this is kind of corny and stuff like that. So I was like, okay. And it was a birthday and they loved Hennessy. They wanted Hennessy. They wanted a Hennessy cake and stuff like that.
And that's a little bit more pricier than some mimosas, yes. Especially if it's men. Men can drink, right?
So what it was with that one was, you still get your bottomless mimosa, but how do I incorporate something that you love into that brunch? So I was like, oh my God, what are they gonna think? And what do they think? And I think I posted one of their reactions on the IG page, and they were just like blown away. And what I want to point out is one of the guys who was recording when he entered, he said, he was like, wow, it seems like everybody's birthday. And that's what I want. Yes, one person's individual birthday, but I want everyone to feel loved, everyone to feel included in this experience.
That's cool. So you say it's a 4-course meal, correct?
Yeah, 4 courses.
How did you get a DJ and a chef and someone to play the music during COVID?
Okay, so the best thing is these are so intimate and small, and it's outdoors, and so right. So it doesn't like people are ready to people are ready to work. It wasn't an issue, So we do more live music. Kind of stay away from a DJ because I want that Zen vibe, Yeah, I want you to come to What About Your Friends brunch and feel like a rejuvenation, a reboost, I wanted to set the tone for the week, for the rest of the week, for the day, for whatever you're gonna do after the brunch. And so it's easy. I just do tastings for chefs. I have to fill out their vibe because I have a very open kind of vibe. So
and then what you may think tastes good may not taste good to everyone. So you have to find someone who could kind of do
correct.
Like wow people, but not go like, bro, I'm used to burger and fries. Who told you I wanted, Grey Poupon?
Correct. And who's a good tester? My husband, because he's certain foods he's like, I don't know. So and me, I'm kind of like, I'm like, oh, whatever, if I'll try it. But he's kind of like, oh, I'm not a fan of grits, so I have to use him.
What?
Oh, yeah. If it's a dish that he's kind of
You
like,
don't like grits? I gotta call him right after this is done.
not anymore. The
Okay.
chefs I pick, that come to do the tasting, first of all, they have good vibes and they're like 100% professional. They're chefs at one of the major, hotels here. And so they'll come and do a tasting and he's like, whoa, I don't even eat grits. And this is phenomenal, So it's like, and I'll probably have another person come in to just try it out. And like, we all feedback on like, maybe you should add this, maybe you should take out that.
Now, when you host everyone, do you do you sit with them too and you eat, or you're literally like not a hostess, but a major D?
Correct. I'm the host, and so this is for you and your like loved ones. So I'm there to check, making sure everything is okay, everything is running smoothly, like you're not running out of, like everything is fresh, your fruit, your juices, the mimosas are flowing, everything is like exactly what you want.
The only reason why I asked is because like if it was me, I'd be like, yeah, let's take a shot. Yeah,
that professional. Because it's 4 hours, so it's 4 hours.
That's good. Most places you can only stay for 2.
Correct. So 4 hours, bottomless mimosas and live music, and not stuck in like sardines in a place that you don't even know anyone like that.
And so because of COVID, and I guess the pandemic is getting a little bit looser. From the beginning, I know you had to follow some protocols. How hard was that to get people to follow your rules and regulations?
So when it started, like we were already at maybe phase 2. Out in Nevada, we were probably at phase 3 when it first started. So there was, and then there's hand sanitizers. I don't want to give too much away because I want people to still kind of feel like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. But chef is 100%. So he's always wearing his mask, gloves and stuff like that. But there's like every kind of cleaning utensils and sanitizing things you can think of all around the area.
What was the hardest thing that you had to learn that no one told you about, or like one day where you were like, yeah, I don't think I could do this anymore?
In any business, you're constantly doubting yourself. What if I'm not good enough? What if they don't like it? What if it's like, this idea is so stupid? What if people think like, what if people think this idea is stupid? Like, what is it? It's just doubt, For me, it was doubt and doubt, like, what am I doing? And do you know what my husband would do? Every day, shout out to Ray, every single day, he'd like give me a pickup, like, look at this, look at that. And like, no one else is doing this. Like he would give me that boost that I need, like a cheerleader. Like, honestly, like every time. And then sometimes if he sees me, I'm like kind of down, he'll be like, okay, we got to get you, like he pumps me up, like, okay, this is the process. And how he takes me through the whole kind of like.
And one thing about a cancer, like me, we don't really like, it's weird. You could tell me if I'm right. Like, we don't like people who are down a lot. It like ruins our vibe. So it's like you have your moment and it's like, that's enough. Like I can't, and it's not us to be mean. It's just like, I got it. You're upset. Like next step, figure it out.
And he's just he's phenomenal. And friends also, because we do all of this. I decorate and I do all of this. So it's just my husband and I and some friends out in Vegas. I have to quickly shout out Will and Vanessa, because they drove 30 miles for this past brunch to help me out. Because I feel like they basically live on literally the other side of town. I call it Reno, but they literally drove like 30 miles to come help me. So a good support system. I have a great support system because it's just me, like you mentioned earlier, I'm not an event planner. I just, I plan experiences.
Okay. And that's on period. How hard is it to have, you said like, you try to have it personalized for everyone. How hard is it for you to do that every single time though?
Because everyone's different, I think everyone's different. And I just love it. I think it would be kind of boring if it was the same kind of thing that they like everyone would. So it makes it more fun, it makes it more fun working with a musician. Like, oh my God, this is kind of the genre they want, this is kind of the music that they want. Like for the welcome drinks are complimentary. And so like we work on like, okay, so if this person drinks like, I don't know, a passion fruit margarita, how can we incorporate?
I love passion fruit.
Oh my gosh, the last one, she loved her passion fruit margarita. So we incorporated that drink into the welcome drink, into like a mimosa. It was phenomenal. She loved it. But that's what makes it fun and not boring. Like, oh, this person likes like, I don't know, this person likes the color pink. So how can we work with that? And their genre is more like pop and rock and roll. Like, how can we,
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to, okay, say example, Carl and I were like, oh my God, we want to come and we want to experience this. How would we go about?
Okay, so what you do is, so again, this is a speakeasy, right? Where we literally just launched on IG, and I was hesitant on that. I know somebody was wink, wink, trying to tell me to get on IG, like make a page. But I didn't want to, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I still wanted it like small, intimate people that I knew, of friends or family of that I knew and stuff like that. So it was just kind of like, I don't want to.
Now that you created, how many people have blown up and contacted you?
You're right.
And said like, oh my God.
Hey, you're right. Correct. Yes. So wink, wink. Thank you. The coulanges.
We just want to see, everyone has their chance in their moment. And I learned through COVID, we all have the same hours of Beyonce. If anything, now we have more.
Yeah.
So what can we do to put our business out there, to put ourselves out there and build a legacy for ourselves and our children, or just to everyone has a talent. Why not showcase it?
You're right. Even the videographer that we got for the last brunch, she was like, I know you're trying to keep it, but this is so beautiful. Yeah. And I really need you to do a website and have it like these, the work, like playing a loop. And
agreed.
So I get it, but it's just like, a part of me is like, oh,
it's your baby. You want to hold it before you let it out. Yeah. Because of your fears and your doubts, but correct. You're doing great, sis. You're doing great, sweetie.
Thank you, boo. But real quick, so let's say like,
if I wanted to contact you, just basically contact you and you talk to us and you figure out the vibes. But like, what if it's just us two? Do you get like a group of other people like at the same time? Mm-hmm. Or you say you don't got no friends?
So when I first launched, a few people reached out to me and said, hey, I just wanted like me and my man. And I was just like, oh no, I didn't want that. Like, no, I don't want that. Like, this is like, and then someone else contacted me and was like, listen, I really think like you really need to venture out and have it like, what if somebody just doesn't want to be surrounded with, I get it, they're friends and stuff, and they just want an intimate day, so why not? So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. So yeah, the minimum is 2 and up to 14.
Nice.
More than 14, yes, it's possible, but we want to keep it intimate. So you probably have a lot of big friends, a big party, keep it intimate and small so everything could be personalized to what you want. So you will contact me, the person will contact me via email. I'll send like a
welcome package.
Yeah, like a welcome package. And then we get into the contract and what the expectations are, what they'll receive, what they'll be getting. And then we start the ball, like with the invitations rolling out,
And prices are subject to change, correct? So every single person or what they want is different.
So everyone, I would say this, everyone gets the same kind of decor, same thing. same package. It fluctuates with prices fluctuate with the amount of people.
Got
Get
it.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So prices will fluctuate with the amount of people. So it's a 2-person brunch is not going to be the same as a 14-person brunch or a 6-person or 3 or whatever.
All right,
So,
good.
so, but you are everyone. You're getting a lot.
I've seen it. I know for sure what you're getting. Now,
You're
this
getting
is a personal question. Have you ever thought, like, maybe for the summer I could come home and visit my family and then say to my friends in New York, like, hey guys, what about your friends' brunches in New York for a short time?
Someone mentioned that again to me. Like, I like when people
Like, why are we not traveling? Like,
yeah, I like when people like throw like little ideas at me. So let me perfect about the what about your friend's brunch here in Nevada?
You have perfected, honey. It is.
No. Let me perfect what about your friend's brunch in Nevada, and then we'll venture out to other cities. Because someone was like, well, what if you come to me and you know.
And I would say to that person, and that's something that you could talk about figuring, like, you pay for my, your travel expense and all that. Well, we could do that behind scenes. If you need a show.
But you also remember, it's like an interview with the vendors, with musicians and chefs.
Right, you have to now find all those people in that state, right?
I have to fill them out, and if it's not a vibe that I'm feeling, like, that's not gonna lie. There was one chef that we came for a tasting. He was 2 hours late, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The food could have been the best food ever. It's because it's 2 hours late. He was 2 hours late. I was
because if he's doing that for an interview, imagine when you actually need him.
Imagine the day up, right? And then like I just wasn't feeling the vibe after that. I was. And then another chef, like I absolutely like loved him. Like he understood
you. He understood your screaming and said, that's just Steph because she likes the food.
Listen.
Because you're screaming. So if you were like, yes, honey, he was like, so you're like, yeah, I just like, wait, it's amazing. It's good when you work with different people. You need people that understand you, that, also as a woman, as a Black woman, sometimes you're tested and you have to put your foot down and be like, bruh, this is how it is. And this is how it's going to be. Right.
Correct. You're not going to walk over me. This is what I want. And this is what, and I love some musicians where they're like free spirited and they want to do what they want. Like, that's
do that on your own time.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate your craft and I appreciate everything you do. How the client doesn't want to hear.
Sorry, Sarah.
Please, you gotta work. You gotta work with what they want. If I'm telling you they want to listen to this, that, and the third.
That's what we hired you for. Yeah.
Correct. Exactly. And this is what they're paying for,
Mm-hmm. Now, another thing I noticed is that a lot of your guests wear white. Is that what? Oh, see, I'm trying to tell you, I'm all up in the videos.
Deb, so most of them, you know what? Most of them do. I think all white just looks so good in pictures. So good for the background that we kind of have.
For your vibe,
For the vibe at the
when I look at it, it's like a farmhouse meets elegant vibe. That's like my favorite thing.
Wow. And so it's like, it's just those colors just vibe into the oasis. And so, but it depends on if they don't want, like, I just need to know so I can let the calligrapher know on the invitation what the dress attire is.
Well, I want to let you know, Carl and I are definitely down. I would honestly love if it could be us too and other friends, but forget them. But if we can make it like the 4 of us, like one, because we're family. So I don't need you to be the hostess with the mostest, but I would love to experience it. Or the next time you have one, please let us know.
Okay, so thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now, I always ask my guests one question before they go. Yes. So if you can have one celebrity, alive or dead, to come to your What About Your Friend's brunch experience, who would it be and why?
The Obamas.
Beautiful.
The Obamas, they seem like just so like down to earth, love music. Every year he has his
His list of songs, yeah.
correct. He has his list of songs. So I think that he would definitely vibe out to that. And like I feel like they would just absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And I feel
totally
like
agree.
so in
You
tune
can learn
with,
so much.
correct. And I feel like they're so in tune with like every day of what's going on or who's doing something new and stuff like that. They're like, I feel like they're like caught up. So if I had them and like their friends, I think they'd be like, oh my God, like I was just thinking about that. Like,
well, Stephanie, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, but even more happy to have you on my show. I appreciate everything that you are doing. Your Black Girl Magic is amazing. I was told by the chicken scratch, if you can all see this, I have to give a shout out to St. Francis College alumni. So shout out to my people, Stephanie. Shout out to Annie in Texas. And shout out to my bestie, Ziggy. All of you suck.
FC, class of 08.
Okay, back to my show.
08 is great, right?
Yeah, sure, whatever. No, thank you to St. Francis, because without, Carl going there, I wouldn't have met you and Anne and Ziggy. So I'm very, very fortunate because a tear is about to come. Hold on. Literally, I'm just very, all right.
Okay.
It took me so long to put this blue eyeshadow on. Hold on. I'm just very fortunate to call you guys my family. Oh Lord.
We are family for sure.
We are. For sure. And I was telling them, this is the First Wives Clubs. Like, this is like
oh my God.
So I'm very proud of you, seeing everything that you have done and accomplished. I love when people just say, I'm going to do something, F it, I'll see how it works. And look how much it has worked for you, for sure.
So much. I just wanted to try something different. And let's see
where... You hit it on the nail, and you did it, girl. And I prayed and I hope and I will send blessings that this gets so big that you can make this into a traveling, or you can get different staffs that you trust that can do it for you in different states, That would be big, amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Give yourself a 2 minute, not really 2 minutes, like a 10-second shout out about you, where to follow you, and what you hope to accomplish.
Guys, please follow us on IG. What About Your Friends Brunch? Like I said, this is because I love hosting and I like making people feel good. So if one person just experiences this and they leave here feeling like, wow, this is what the soul needed today, I've done my job. Okay. So it's not something like Stephanie's trying to do this for money or whatever, but it's just, I need for the soul, the soul to be fed with good energy, good vibes, and good food and good drinks.
Do you remember that book, Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul? I used to love those books when I was younger.
Love those books.
And that's what you're doing, especially my next segment, we're going to move into mental health. These are things that are needed to go away. And 08 is better. What year did Ziggy graduate?
Not sure. Because Ziggy's a little youngin'.
Okay. But he graduated at an early age because he's intelligente.
Oh, yes. Hey, Ziggy.
He's watching right now. I got your back, bruh.
Come on. You hung out with the 08 class. So you're honored.
And he think he grown no matter what. So it doesn't matter.
I know.
Just trying like 30, a little girl unit. So once again, I'm so proud of you. I hope this blows up to something bigger than you and I have ever imagined. And Ziggy says, shout out.
Hey.
And I will definitely talk to you this week offline about me and Carl coming, or like I said, bringing it over here for my birthday. I'm just thinking.
Hey, okay, let me know.
Yeah, but you're doing so great. I'm so proud of you. Also, please say your last name.
Harari.
Told ya.
Harari.
Money.
But Stephanie Salant was
It's what got you here, baby. Okay, that drive.
Stephanie Salant.
It's what got you here. That elegant. That why are you looking over? He's there. Don't make sure he don't hear you.
Mhm.
Blink twice if you okay. It's like I say, you know, I'm Deborah Voltaire, but the Coulange I've helped lift it up.
Yes, that's exactly what I've done.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. And that's why Mary had a little lamb.
Okay.
We could do this all day, but I have someone else waiting in the chat room. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Please follow What About Your Friends Brunch. Now it's a whole St. Francis.
Oh Lord, St. Francis.
I promise you this experience that once you
Where
see
my
it,
Knicks
you're gonna want to
fans
be part of it.
Are they chiming in, the Knicks fans? I know Ziggy's a Knicks fan, so I don't even have to worry about that. Hey Zig.
So, and we're gonna say goodbye, Stephanie. You know, it was going so well until she had to come back with the damn Knicks. She don't even watch the damn sports. She don't even care.
Fun fact real quick.
She's too busy being a Black-owned businesswoman, okay?
Okay.
The L lipstick today.
Mwah.
Oh, now they're having a whole discussion. I don't care.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, we're gonna slide on into the next show. I just want to like blend this in a little bit. I'm so proud of my girl, Stephanie. You are doing amazing things, and it is wonderful when Black women get to showcase the potentials that we have. And the thing about What About Your Friends, it's also great to see friends who are willing to travel to have an experience and to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times do you want to just hang out with your friends, party till the sun comes up, listen to music, have good vibes, eat a 4-course meal, and not have to worry about being judged or pushed when you go to a day party, or someone taking a paper and then slapping it on your face and saying like, and then your wife has to fight the person. Oh, that's no one else goes through that. Just me and Carl and Ziggy. All right, no problem. All right, so let's bring in my guy, Brandon Falco, and we're going to discuss a little bit like what sports has done for me. And we're going to tie it into our mental health, because this is what the month of May is. And today we're not going to argue. Me and him are not going to argue. I know you're like, what is he doing back on the show? What the F is happening? But we are not going, it's going to be, we are showing you guys how two people with different opinions can come together to become friends. Because we're friends, I think. Hi, friend.
How are you?
Good. How are you today?
Hanging in there. Can't complain.
Good. So I'm sorry I kept you waiting for a little bit, but thank you for joining me once again on the B Show.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So I said to everyone like, who's like, what is he doing back on this show? What the F has happened in about 2-3 weeks that they are talking? But I feel like we are showing people that two opposite views can come together and now have become friends.
For sure.
Right?
Absolutely. 100%.
And we have some things in common, which is mental health.
We do.
Okay. So I would start a new segment that someone may or may have not inspired me about like what sports has done for you. And we're going to tie this into mental health.
Right.
Cool?
Absolutely.
So what has sports done for you?
So in terms of mental health, a few years ago, even a year or two ago, it's not something I took seriously as I do now, because I never understood what other people go through, because as a wise man has once said, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. When people see me, I'm as outgoing, I'm as confident as could be. You don't know how I am when I'm behind closed doors, when things in my outside life aren't going as well. And sports are definitely something that has been an emotional roller coaster, to say the least. And at times brought me down to arguably my all-time lows. So to share a little bit of my story of how I got in terms of this position, being involved in more of the sports media and stuff, baseball was my life. I mean, everyone who knows me, who grew up with me, knew baseball was priority number one. Nothing was more important. I didn't want any girls in my life. I didn't want to party. Like, nothing was more important than me playing baseball. And it was getting to a point, especially after I graduated senior year, and then when I graduated, it got to a point where I didn't love the game like I used to, but it was mentally and psychologically, I was making myself believe this is what I wanted to do and this is what I wanted to keep doing for a couple reasons. And it wasn't because I loved playing, it was the people who believed in me. I wanted to make them proud. My parents have put so much time and effort into making me the best player I could be. And it's like, they did all this. I can't let them down. Friends who believe in me, teammates who believe in me, I can't let them down. I feel like they're counting on me. It got to a point where I wanted to succeed to make them proud. And on the flip side, people who doubted me, I wanted to prove them wrong. People who know me say I have a big ego, this and that. To an extent, it's true. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it is true. And when someone else
Really? I would have never guessed that.
when someone else got recognition of being great, it bothered me because I'm that guy. That's how I worked. And my freshman year of college is when I got to the point where I'm like, I don't love it anymore, and I don't want to do it. What I wanted to do is talk sports because I got involved with watching the shows on TV, and I always had that mindset. I said I could be on TV and be better than all these guys. I know more about sports than all of them. I could talk hoops better than them, football, so on and so forth. And what I said was, I don't know how it's gonna happen. When I go to college, I'm just gonna meet somebody in the field who's gonna get me involved, which is Carl. You can't make this up. And then I took radio electives. I'm like, hopefully I find someone. Long story short, it was Carl. And he introduced me about the show and all that. And I was so intrigued. And like, he would invite me to meetings, want me to come in studio. And I wanted to so bad, but I was playing baseball.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, I can't do it. Like, I don't have time. Like, what am I going to do? Like, baseball first. And at that time in 2019 is where I felt myself as an athlete hitting my stride. I said, like, this is going to be my year. I'm really figuring my stuff out. And the first game comes in February in the freezing cold. I'm having the game of my life. I mean, I'm cruising 55 pitches through 5 innings, probably throwing the hardest I've ever did. And one pitch, the pop of my elbow comes. And the first thing that clicked to my mind was, not now, 18 months of recovery. And then when I walked off and my arm went straight, and I knew. And people tried to give me hope, this and that. And then my elbow blew out. And I got the results. And it was like, you have like, it's like if you have your palm has a whole crackers in it. And you just crush it and drop it. That's what I felt like my life was, in a palm of someone's hands, and you crush it. Because I felt like mentally, that was my whole purpose in life, was being an athlete and playing baseball. I felt like as an athlete, I was very superior. I was very athletic. I had a natural gift. And I felt like I was never able to reach my ceiling. And then it got to a point where I said, I'm done. But mentally, I wasn't ready to give it up. I'm like, there's something left. They said, this is a part of my story. And people talked me into it after I said, I'm not getting surgery. And I said, F this, I'm doing it. And I said, I give anything I start, I give 110%. I don't half-ass anything. I don't half-send anything. If I commit to something, I'm getting what I want at the end of the day. And I said, you know what? I'm buckling down. And I didn't want to do it. But I said, you know what? Like I said before, the people who believed in me, I had to make them proud. I can't let them down. And the people who doubted me, I have to prove them wrong. And as I dedicated every day of my life to rehab, came 2020, where I was in contact with Carl all the time about coming on the shows, meetings. And I wanted to do it so bad, but baseball's in the way. And I knew that's what I like to do better. And I was like, oh, I can't. I have baseball. Long story short, my first game back, I hurt my elbow again. It's a repetitive thing that's happening over and over again. And I was so upset about it. And Carl invited me the week after to come on his show. And I remember I was so upset. I did the show with him. After I left, I said, that's it. I was like, I hope I get an MRI report that I hurt my elbow. I'm done. I don't want to play. This is what I want to do. And another thing that I wanted to do that I couldn't do because of baseball, which was lift to bulk up, not bodybuild, but I wanted to have a different type of body. And the way I created the body, which I have over the course of a year, when people see my before and after picture, it's like, wow, you look like a different person. And mentally,
can I give my analogy, what I told you?
Yes. Yes.
You went from Shrek to Hulk.
Exactly.
In 1 year.
It took me 1 year, and I gave that every single thing I had every single day for a calendar year. And people look at me like I'm a different person, and it's helped my confidence. It's helped me mentally. Being in the gym, I feel like it's a safety spot for me to just get stress that's on my life and just focus on my body, which is something that my health and my physically and mentally has improved me so much. So when I put down baseball, which was my life, and I did two things that I couldn't do because of that, being in the sports media industry and then lifting to bulk up. And now looking back at something that I gave my entire life to every single day, I don't miss it one bit. And people who play baseball with me are like, how do you not, like, what happened? I don't miss it, but it just shows the mental health thing I want people to get out of this is something like, you make yourself believe things because it's more comfortable to believe it. It was more comfortable to believe I wanted to keep playing baseball because that's what I did all my life. And when you keep doing something, you're more comfortable to do that until you experience another door, which is actually what I want to do better. And now looking back at it, I couldn't be happier and I'm living my best life. And that's really my story. I'm finally doing what I love to do. And no matter what you're going through, do what makes you happy because we only got one shot at life. And that's what I really wanted to get people out of from this.
And so people may look at you and like you said, like, oh, what is he talking about? Look how he looks. He has all this together and blah, 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 blah. But you never know what someone else is going through behind closed doors. Now, for you, what made you, like, it clicked to you, like, I can't keep doing what please my mom and my dad. I have to do what's going to please me.
Right. So the thing with baseball, why I want to keep it going, I just thought in my life, I have no purpose but to be an athlete. I thought athletics was the only thing that had me a future. I said, you know what, college is going to be so expensive. How am I going to go to school? I wanted that scholarship because I wanted college to be cheaper, not because I wanted to play baseball, not because I wanted to grind every day, but it's because because I wanted to have a scholarship. That's how I wanted to do. I wanted to play until they ripped the jerseys off me just to make the people proud. But once I started to do what I love to do, once Carl brought me in for one debate. It was one of the last segments we had before COVID hit in the studio. And I said, this is what I want to do.
Your dog wants to be on camera.
I remember Carl said to me when we left, he said, good luck in your MRI. I hope everything's okay. And inside I was like, I don't. I said, I want to do, mentally, I said, like, I couldn't say it, but I hope I'm done. I want to do this. And I always, something I wanted to do was bulk up and get bigger. And I always knew, I said, if I just dedicate 1 year, and I told so many people this, I said, if I didn't play baseball, I would get jacked. Yeah. And now people a year later come to me and say, damn, you kept your word. And it's another thing that I wear on my wrist. I always have never satisfied, and I always say pain is temporary. 2 reasons why I do that: never satisfied. That is my favorite quote ever. Don't ever limit yourself. Don't ever limit yourself. Why? I don't care how I look. And people say, when I tell people, I said, I can't wait I want my summer body. I want to have a better body. I want to lean up, this, that. And they said, look at you. You look amazing. You have the most perfect body. No, I don't. Never satisfy yourself and never limit yourself, because the sky's the limit. No matter what you're doing in life, whether it's lifting, being in the media, school, work, anything, there's no limit to anything you do. Never be satisfied, because you could always improve. And that's always been a mentality in anything I do. If I put up this amount of weight, it could always be more. When I play baseball, if I throw this hard, I could always throw harder. And
right. It's not always going to be what we think. It's always going to be something else in the back thing. Like, you can be better. You can do better.
Right. And it's like the saying, people want what they can't have. That is almost a reality, because it's like my YouTube channel. I got my first video at 1,000 views. Not enough. Next one, I want 2,000, eventually 10,000, so on and so forth. I want to keep going. You always have a goal in mind to keep chasing. Always get better. You always have an opportunity to get better in anything in life. And that's why I'll always have the mentality, I'm never satisfied. If I play a basketball game, I have 25 points that game. Next game, give me 30. There's never enough. There's always a new goal I'm setting. I'm always chasing something. And I feel like when you're chasing something that's not, I mean, in a relationship, that's a different story, but things and goals in life that you're chasing, it keeps your mind focused, keeps you motivated to better yourself and self-improvement.
I want to say that it's like you said, you know, by the grace of like God, you met Carl, and someone who was kind of, you wanted to like, you know, talk to and see what he's doing because you like. I think it's also important to have somebody that you can look up to and feel like an open space that you can talk to, because if you can't have that, then it's good to go to like, therapy or something.
Right. And I would always recommend people doing therapy because there's nothing wrong with talking to people. People who are really close to you, no matter what angle it is. Again, you don't know what they're going through. This past semester, I was going at an all-time low, and you would never think from me, of all people. People say, I need your confidence. I need to walk around like you. I walk around like I'm the man. The sports hit list. People may not like me in that. Every time I talk in it, one thing's for sure is my presence is felt. And everyone reacts to me. That's how I am, no matter what setting it is. People will always feel my presence. And I walk around with confidence. I defend myself, and I will never back down with that. I know who I am. But mentally, this past semester, I was at an all-time low.
And you have to
right. Where I got a little nervous with myself is it got to a point where there were things I love to do in life I didn't want to do anymore.
Yeah.
It was getting to a point I wasn't following sports the way I used to. I didn't want to do my shows anymore. All I wanted to do is just work out and then spend time with friends and be occupied. And that's not me. I'm an independent person. I could spend all day by myself and keep myself occupied, whether it's the gym, my shows, watch sports, this and that. And when it got to the point where I was doing that,
didn't want to be alone anymore.
Right. And when I realized I didn't want to do that anymore, I was like, now something's up. And over a course of time, I just always now my other wristband, pain is temporary. No matter what you're going through in life, time heals everything. Whether it's a physical injury or a mental injury, a heartbreak, time heals everything. No matter what you're going through now, mental toughness will get you through anything. And as time goes on, as better people enter your life, there will always be people who care about you and love you and go to help you down the road, which is how you get over it. And right now, like I said, I'm living my best life.
I was looking for a shout out, but all right, no problem. Also, I do believe like what you said about, pain is temporary. It's like my analogy is like the weather. Some days it's cloudy, some days sunny, some days rainy. But the next day it's always going to be something different, right? Like even though there's darkness, there has to be light. When there's light, there's dark, and you can't experience the lows without the highs.
Right. That's what I always just take every day for what it is. You live in the moment. Once you start looking in the future, it's where you start stressing out. And a thing Carl always told me that I used to can't stand, he said, stop stressing over things you can't control. And he always says, UBI. I hate when he says that. I hate when he says that.
Can you repeat that? He said, stop what?
He says, stop stressing over things you can't control.
I wonder where he got that line from. I'm pretty sure that's the line that I give him, but we'll let that slide. Go ahead.
Well, he's told me that a repeated amount of times. He always says UBI. When things
that is his line, and I effing hate that.
So do I. I gotta give it to him though. There's logic behind it because once you stop worrying about things you can't control, you're happier. When there's things you can't control and you're stressed about, that is always going to irritate you. It's
another thing that I always say to him and other people is you can't control people. You can only control yourself.
Right.
You can't control a person. You can't control a situation. You can only control yourself and your well-being.
It's got to a point where, like, at the end of the day, you can't depend on someone else for your happiness. That's how other people could turn. You can't control someone else.
And that kind of goes back to where you saying like you couldn't be alone. If you can't be alone and love yourself and have those moments, how can you expect someone else to? Like, I know it's mean to say, but no one's always going to want a negative Nancy all the time. So you have to fix your issues before you can start a relationship or maybe even a friendship with someone else.
I always swear by the saying, if you don't love yourself, how could you expect anyone can? Because
I just said that.
Because I'm
getting robbed here from all my lines.
The only one who's going to be there for you at the end of the day is yourself. And you always have to be there for yourself and do what's best for you at the end of the day. And yeah, at the end of the day, that's really my main story.
You see, this is the Falco that I've been talking to. This is look at his smile. This is the guy that I know. The other guy that has left the building, except for if you go on his Facebook, which I have not addressed those things with you, and maybe tomorrow. I wanted to talk to you, but I wanted to be peaceful this week with you. It's been working out very well.
I said what I
said. I said this.
I said what I said on Facebook. I said what I said. No regrets.
Falco, this is like our time to be kumbaya and to show people how far we've come.
I know.
Okay. So I wanted to say that I am proud of you from us talking, behind the scenes and everything that you've been through. I've seen the growth in you, and I see that there are two different sides, and you may not show everyone the side that I know, but it's okay. Not everyone needs to know that, you're a little teddy bear on the inside, but you have gone through some things. And what matters the most is, especially at your age, that you can show other people who may want to look like you or think that, you have it going on, that you are a normal person, that you go through things that other people do. And sometimes you may have to look for someone else for that help and that guidance, right?
Right. And it's like, you don't know what other people are going through, no matter how happy they are. Check on someone, ask if they're doing okay, ask what they're doing. Because maybe if they're more comfortable to talk to you than the public, some people like to talk to everyone about it. It gets to a point, some people like to just go to anyone who will listen, they want to talk to. Some people don't like to tell anyone. Some people like to just tell a certain somebody or someone super close to you. So I think it can't hurt to check on someone, because behind the scenes, you never know what someone's going through.
I 100% agree. If someone came to you right now, what was one thing you would tell them that maybe not make everything better, but just a little thing to help them go make it through the night?
Pain is temporary. No matter what you're going through, no matter how hard times are, it will get better. As time goes on, time heals everything. Time will always get better, no matter what you're going through. Talk to someone you're close with. Do what makes you happy at the end of the day, because we only got one shot at life. So whatever makes you happy, pursue that. Give it 100% what you got. Sit down and think about it. Are you doing this because you feel like it's more comfortable, or because you have to, or doing it because you love? Because my story, it was psychological. I psychologically kept playing baseball and said, this is what I love the most to do, because of two reasons. I want to make people proud who believe in me, and I wanted to prove my doubters wrong. Those are the only two reasons I kept that grind going.
And sometimes those are the two things you need, right? You want to prove people wrong, and you want to prove to yourself, but whatever your passion is, or whatever you choose to keep you going, but just keep going.
And be there for yourself, because it got to a point, my success wasn't for me anymore. It was for the two reasons I said. That's why I wanted to succeed in that sport. It really got to the point where it wasn't for me. And now looking back, I played college baseball for the wrong reasons. If I look back, and regret is probably the worst feeling in life, which I feel like my life is full of regrets. I've learned from every mistake I've made.
I think everyone is, and take it from someone who's older than you. I think we all do, but we have to take our regrets and change them into lessons.
They are, and it sucks when it's like things I wish I could go back and change.
Of course.
And it's like, I wish in the sports media industry, I wish I got out of this right after high school. If I could go back and change it, I would do that immediately.
Long story short, like when I was in college, high school, I did journalism. In college, I did radio, and then I stopped because I was just like, well, where is that really going to take me? And I went to education world because it was just easier. And now, like, 20? No, I'm not that old. Like 10 years later, it's not a radio show, but it's kind of the same. And I'm like, man, if I had just stuck to this, I really like this. I probably would have been bigger. Instead of sitting here, I would have been like
further along. And one thing that I look back at now is sports are like my life. So like a lot of things that have happened to me revolved around sports. If I could go back to 7th, 8th grade, I would have played football throughout high school. I would have been lifting then the way I do now.
Exactly. Baseball is more like a runner, right? And you have to be
not a runner, but you have to be leaner up top for throwing wise.
Well, that's what I mean. You have to freaking run all the time. Football, when you look at the guys, they look a little bit more beefier, and they have to be more jacked, and swimming and baseball is a little bit more slender.
You're like, I always had to keep a leaner body, but I always wanted the look of bulking up. And if I could go back, I wish I played football throughout high school, and the talent I have now in it, I feel like that would have been my number one sport, but I didn't because of how many people wanted me to play baseball, because it's something I did my whole life and how much work I put into it. So I felt like I have to prioritize that. And that's the only
playing football. Would have still have your leg in your ankle injured like you are?
I mean that happened yesterday, but that's besides the point. But I don't. But speaking about like an ankle injury that I had yesterday, whatever. I don't live life scared. I will never go like I've had a knee injury, I've had an elbow injury. I will still keep attacking what I want to do because I can't live life in fear, and I can't live life preventing what if this happens. If I want to do something, I go in 100%. I don't like people telling me to hold back on this or don't do that, or people say, oh, why are you doing this? You've had enough injuries. Stop playing. No, that's what I love to do. So I'm going to keep doing it. And the day I'm able to play football and basketball again, I'm going to go right back to it. Once I blew out my knee, people told me my junior year of high school, they told me, oh, you can't play basketball. You got to play college baseball. I said, no, I got to be there. So a year later, when I came back, when I was able to play basketball again, I came back because that's what I wanted to do. And that's what I love to do. I don't want to hold back and live life scared again. Sure, would I have been more upset if I played and I got hurt again? Yeah, absolutely. And I'll also look back with more regret saying, what if I played? How many more memories would I have had? How many more good times would I have had? I don't want to do that. I want to live life to the fullest. I want to do what makes me happy. And what makes me happy is playing sports, being active, taking care of my body, my physical health. And then the sports media, those are like my favorite things to do. And I want to keep doing that. And just because I have an injury, this or that, I will always keep going back at it. No matter how many times I get knocked out, I'll always get back up one more time.
And trying to take over my show.
You thrown the shade at me a lot lately, past few days.
I'm just saying, it's like
it's on accident. I don't need to do that.
I'm messing with you. Well, friend, thank you so much for being on the B Show. And I'm so, like I said, I'm so proud of you and how far you have come. I won't even say, do you want to be a guest next time? Because we have something else brewing. So I will say, see you soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, take care of yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Falco. Give them a little plug for your show, please.
Yeah, so you guys can find me, my sports podcast, The Falco Takeaway, on Instagram or YouTube. And again, Deborah, thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Good night. All right, guys. You see, kumbaya. Like, that's the homie. Thank you to everyone for watching this show today. I hope you learned a little bit of something. And I hope you remember that life is short, like Falco said. Don't be afraid of anything. Don't let anything or anyone limit you to the possibilities that you can be. And, be you, do you, and live your best life. Please check out the Main Man show on Saturday. He will be doing a little pre-show. Playoffs is kicking off. So Deborah Voltaire Coulange will not be in Carl's eyesight for the next couple of weeks. Let us know if you would like for me and Carl to do a little web series, little videos, clips like we did last year for the I was going to say Super Bowl, for whatever this issues that's going on, basketball world. I don't know. And I just want to say Dwayne Wade is the hottest man ever born. And then is my husband. So make sure you watch Falco's show. Make sure you watch Carl Coulange and his Goon show. And make sure you watch Gregor, Stephen, Declan show. Like, support each other. Support What About Your Friends brunch. And Chris Webber is going into the Hall of Fame for my husband's birthday weekend. And so is Paul Love the Strippers Piers. So we're going to have so much content for you guys coming up. Please like, follow, and tell your friends about us. And follow me. My name is Debstar_B. I had to change it so that it was like a little bit more friendlier for people, because I want to make sure like ABC or BT, MTV picks me up and they're like, "Girl, you got to change that." Anyway, take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the New York City weather. And if you're vaccinated, baby, we mask free. I am Deborah Voltaire Coulange. Always a pleasure. And I'm signing out. Bye.